Start to feel the muscles of the body relax. Start to feel the breath flow, maybe a little bit more deeply than it's gone all day so far. With this reminder to come back to this present moment. So we're starting to see some shifts in the weather. The mornings are starting to get a little bit colder. We're starting to see more balloons in the mornings. It's kind of like that fun time of year where it's not quite not summer, but it's also definitely starting to change. And so as we come upon this next season, sooner or later, you'll start to see the leaves eventually changing, and then the trees letting go of their leaves. So the idea of today's class, as we are starting to welcome in the next season, the idea today is thinking of the trees letting go of leaves, and we're practicing that idea also of release. That idea of not having to hold on to things all the time. There's a time and a season to have those leaves, but after a while, we don't need them anymore and we can shed them. So there's different things in our lives that represent those leaves. So think of a leaf for you, and that'll be our intention today, is just that idea of letting it go, not having to hold on quite so intensely. And the way that physically we'll be working on that in our body is we're focusing mainly on shoulders and hips, helping to open up those spots that tend to be those spots of tension for a lot of people. So by us releasing the tension in the physical body, we're able to let go of our leaves on some of those deeper levels. So that's the idea that will lead us on. So the first thing that will get us a little bit deeper into our shoulders is we're going to have the arms off by our sides like a cactus-shaped arm. And what we're going to do a couple of times is slide the fingers closer to the back wall. You'll feel that start to open up through the shoulders, and then slide it back through that cactus shape, and continue to slide the elbows down, kind of as far as you can, trying to keep the backs of the hands on the ground. So take a couple of times like that, sliding the hands back and up, and then scooting the elbows into the waist. It's nice and easy. Maybe even synchronize your breath. Inhale when it comes up overhead, exhale when it starts to go to side. Maybe just 2 more of those. Good. So from here, let's start to take the knees into the chest. A couple of easy rocks. So let's start to tune into those hips. Checking in with how they are right now. Good. So as we release left leg to ground, it can be foot planted, it can be leg extended, your choice. We're going to start working into the right hamstring, so right leg up to sky. Those that want to use a strap here, this is a great place. Just place the strap around the ball of foot, maybe even a loop around the wrist so fingers don't have to do much work. Don't feel like you have to force anything really deep right away. Just feel how the muscles of the body are wanting to start stretching. So bring it to a spot that feels good, kind of deep. Then a couple of breaths in that area. When it feels like the muscles are starting to relax at that spot, maybe it's an invitation to go a little bit deeper. So that might mean taking some of the bend out of the knee. It might mean pulling it in just a bit deeper. Just bring it to that spot where it feels really good, and spend a couple more breaths here to help those muscles start to release, to not be quite so tense in that deep spot. Another deep breath, flowing all the way through. And then left hand will start to support the leg, or left hand grabs both straps. And the leg will start to tilt over to the left. Make it a slow motion journey. So maybe as we're slowly tilting, we'll eventually make our way to a 45-degree angle tilt. Sometimes it's nice to pause there for a little while. Sometimes some of us might want to head all the way to the twist. So eventually heading that right leg all the way to the ground. So it's up to you if you want to take it that far or not. There's lots of space in between, and it's a nice slow journey. Take your time, breathe. Do 2 more breaths for the twist. And then as we release the strap, if you have it, return your hips to the ground. Let this right thigh cross really tightly over left thigh. And we're going to try to grab onto each ankle. So it's a little bit deeper than the figure 4 stretch. And if grabbing ankles is not quite working, you can grip a little bit closer toward knees. That makes it a little easier. So send some good breaths through the hips here. Notice if there's any spots that are resisting it, kind of trying to hold back against the stretch. If you find any of those areas, see if you can try to relax that and breathe through it. Another inhale flows in. Exhale, release. Send the right foot to ground, left to side. Maybe grab that strap again. The first spot doesn't have to be the deepest yet. It's kind of like the first invitation to start stretching. So it might mean that the knee is still a bit bent, or it might mean that we're like backing away from the upright angle, just a bit lower. Let's send a couple of easy breaths to that first spot where you're starting to feel the stretch. Feel those muscles beginning to relax. Maybe by about this point, we can start to work it deeper, whether that means knee is straightening out, or maybe we're trying to pull it in a little bit harder. Another good breath for this spot. Right hand will support the leg, or right hand grabs both straps. The slow tilting across the body. Don't feel like you have to immediately get anywhere. Feel your body gradually moving through space, maybe pausing at a 45-degree angle, maybe continuing to tilt further. We choose that ending spot. Good, one more deep inhale. Nice exhale. As you start to release strap if we have it, return to your back. We'll let that left side press really tightly over right. Trying to grab onto feet if you can. So take 2 more deep breaths. Beautiful. Start to release. Let's rock our way up toward a seated place. Eventually, when we're up, let's take a little bit of time with toddler pose. Start to sink up and over with our spine. If there's neck tension, take the liberty to move the head around in places that kind of loosen up that tightness in the neck. So it might be kind of swaying the head left and right. Might just be a very subtle movement. Almost nobody can see it. Take another huge inhale. Nice exhale. As we start to rise back up with the spine, slide the legs to just an easy cross-leg position. We'll take our arms out to a cactus shape. And then 3 times, it'll look like this. When we touch our forearms together, let the spine round back. That's a nice exhale. With the inhale, pull the elbows open, even letting the heart travel forward and through. Inhale. Take 2 more. Good. Now take the right arm across the body. The left arm hugs it in to pull that right shoulder into the stretch. It might be nice to drop left ear over left shoulder for a couple of breaths. As head floats back up, see if this right elbow can continue to cross past where the other elbow is. If you can get there, take it to a full eagle's arm wrap. If that's not quite happening, you can always set up a good hug instead. But with this wrap, for those that have it, try to get to the shoulder stretch. So elbows try to push down at the same time that elbows try to lift up.
Elbows down, up.
Shoulders down, elbows up. Yeah. One more inhale here. With our exhale, release to the elbow, the cactus arm shape with the elbows. Take 3 rounds. Exhale together. Inhale, open. And 2. And 1. Good. So left arm crosses over the body. Pull it in. Maybe the right ear drops to right shoulder. Head floats back up. See if the top elbow can cross past the other. Maybe eagle's wrap or the hug. If you've got the wrap, shoulders down, elbows try to lift up. More inhale. Exhale. One more time to cactus arm. 3 more rounds. Press together. Inhale, open. 2. 1. Beautiful. Arms get a chance to relax. We're going to try to take right shin to stack on top of left shin. For some of us, the knee will be lifted up high by doing that. So if that's your body, you'll just stay sitting up, maybe even gently pushing on that right knee. For those where the shin stack is pretty easy and you want more, you could find the floor and slide forward. So it's whichever one of those 2 spots helps our hip just to gently, gently open on this first one. Nothing forceful, just breathing into that space. Starting to rise back up. Sometimes it's nice to do a few windshield wipers before we switch. So if that helps the hips, go for it. Sooner or later, whenever you're ready for left to be on top, it'll be the same option. So maybe just staying to sit up, a little bit of weight on that left knee. If it's pretty easy to stack, maybe slide the hands forward and through. Another breath to pass in the body. Nice exhale. Walking back up. If you want a few more windshield wipers, go for it. Whenever hips and everything feels pretty good, let's take it to a kneeling place. Do a couple of cat cows right away. Those muscles at the back. Good. Coming to a neutral spine, walk the hands forward to kneeling plank position. And then 3 times, we'll take cobra, so hips drop down a bit. Then shift the hips back to child pose. So be like that at your own pace. Eventually up to cobra. And child. Or maybe a bonus breath or 2 in the child's pose. Back up onto all fours. Keep the left knee on the ground. The right knee floats up. Do 2 large circles to each direction. So choose the first direction and take 1 and 2. And reverse the direction. 1 and 2. Drop the right knee down. Left side. 1 and 2. Reverse. 1 and 2. Good. As you set it down, take it up to downward facing dog. Maybe some wiggles for those hips. From here, 3 times back and forth between this downward facing dog and an upward facing dog. So go to plank and then drop the hips down a little bit. Lift hips right back up, downward. 2 more like that, forward. Up. 1 more, shoulders warming up. Good, a few bonus breaths in that down dog. Up to you, sooner or later, we'll come up to top of mat. Another inhale. Exhale. And come up, rise. And hands to heart. Good. So moving through the shoulders, I'm going to give you 3 options for the stance. Option 1 is going to be the easiest. You just stand here, and it's going to be the right arm that goes back and forth 3 times. Second option is a little bit more balancy. Right knee is floating as that right arm goes. The third option, with strap or not, we're trying to balance with the leg extended. And then it'll be that right arm 3 times. So choose your option, standing, floating knee, or leg extended. And when you've got your balance, right arm traces like a rainbow up. We'll go all the way across that shoulder, and then trace back up to return. 2 more like that. Last one. Good, release. And we'll start to take our second side. Standing, knee lifted, or leg extended. Left arm starts forward to go up and back. Return to that same rainbow. 2. And 1. Beautiful. You finish, drop it down. Take a little flow, arm circle up to sky. Nice exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands. Step back, child pose down for a flow. Good. And from here, either through plank or kneeling plank, let's lower ourselves back down to the ground. From this spot, 3 cobras. Inhale, come up. Don't feel like you have to crank or squeeze shoulders. It's just nice and relaxed. Exhale down. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Good. Dropping down, slide the right hand forward, and then roll onto your right side body. The feet can be slightly separated just to keep you in better balance. This left arm is going to trace 3 circles to each direction. So when it's in front of you, you're welcome to have fingers on the floor. When it goes behind you, it'll be more floated. So choose your first direction. and tracing 1, around, eventually to 2, 3. Good. Reverse the circle. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Switch it out. So now we're laying on left side. When you're ready for these circles, 1, 2, 3. In reverse, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Drop belly back to floor. Take it to child or down dog. So similar to before, we're gonna start easing our way up to top of that when you're ready. It's not a rush. If some of us are just loving that down dog shape, it's hitting good spots. Good. So we're up to the top. Take another inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart. So this is a spot we're gonna grab our strap. And I'll face this way so you can literally just copy what I'm doing. But the idea here is slide your hands really far so it's a huge grip of that strap. From here, we're gonna eventually trace a full circle. The idea is to not let slack be in the fabric. So we're keeping our arms at that equidistance apart. So the first spot that we go into to go to the circle is drop your left hand to your left hip. Right arm goes up and over. Let it travel through the side of the body. And then start to trace it back behind you. You figure out that perfect distance, that height. Eventually, right hand starts to drop down. Left hand goes up and over. And then drop it right back down in front of you. Good. So nice and slow like that. We'll reverse. Right hand down. Left hand through the side. Back. Left hand down. To go forward. Good. Let's just take one more to each direction. Last side. Beautiful. Set the strap down. We'll take eagle's arms. It'll be right elbow under left elbow. We want it to be in that shoulder stretch. So same thing, shoulders down, elbows up. A couple of breaths right here. And trying to maintain the shoulder stretch. Option to go into eagle's pose. So if you're taking it, set the hips back. Maybe feet stay on the floor. Maybe right thigh wraps over. Good. 2 more breaths here. Then straightening standing leg. The right leg tries to kick forward with balance. Sweep it under and through to warrior 3. Softly land warrior 1. Release the elbows open like a cactus. Continue to trace the fingers up to sky. Arms circle behind us. When they're all the way behind us, clasp hands together. Bow forward, shoulder stretch from behind us. Lower the hands down and release. Circle the hands forward to go up. Inhale. Nice exhale toward warrior two. And from here, left hand goes to the base of your neck. The right hand grabs the elbow. It's up above head. And what we're trying to do is use that grip on the elbow to help inch the fingers a little bit further down the back. The elbow ends up a little bit more behind the head. So with the head hunched forward, try to keep the head pushing back into the arm. The last thing I like to do here to get that whole shoulder stretch even more is to lean a little bit toward the back of my mat. Good. So that left side is stretching really nicely. Take one more inhale. Exhale, ease back open, warrior two arms. Let's take the second side, right hand to base of neck. Grab that elbow. Try to help inch the fingers a little bit further down towards shoulder blades. Maybe when you're in the depth of the stretch, you lean toward top of mat this time. Good. And let the arms open up. Warrior two position. Good. The hands cartwheel down to the ground. Top of the back toes. Keep the right hand down. Left hand circles up to sky. Feel the shoulders open. That hand comes down. Lower the back knee. Front leg gets a nice half split motion. Ease down to that easy hamstring stretch. We walk the hands forward, the hips are sinking forward. So from here, the left hand circles forward, and then up to the sky, and then pointing to the back wall. When you get there, if you want to grab the back toes, that's an option. You don't have to do it. So front knee. Bend front knee. Yeah, yeah, just that's way easier, yeah. Good. One more breath right here. Inhale. Exhale, release. This left foot comes to the outside of that left part of the mat. Pick up the right knee. And step up to Malasana pose. So coming up to that yogic squat. Always sit on blocks needed. Sometimes I see a tendency of people to kind of like collapse into the shoulders here. Try to keep the shoulders spreading out wide. Elbows pushing into the knees to help the hips. So I'm trying to get another inch longer. Good. Another huge inhale. Exhale. Fingers drop down. Straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Nice wider forward fold. Circling arms up to the sky, take a little back bend. Hands down to heart. Beautiful. So this time we've got left elbow under. Wind the arms. Try to relax shoulders down. Try to lift elbows up. We're definitely in that good shoulder stretch. Maybe stay here, or you can start to sit back like a chair. But keep both feet on the ground, or left thigh wrapped forward. Good. Straightening standing leg. Left foot forward with balance. If you can, sweep it under to warrior 3. Land warrior 1. Elbows open, cactus. Trace the fingers up to sky. Then circle backwards. Clasp behind your back. Bow forward. And start to travel down, they release, and circle forward to come up. Warrior 1, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. From here, right hand at the base of the neck. The other hand grabs the elbow. Start to inch the fingers down as you get that elbow more behind the head pushing into the arm. Maybe lean toward back of mat, opening up just a little bit more. Good, warrior 2. And second side, left hand at base of neck. Grab the elbow, inch the fingers down. And maybe lean up to top of mat. Good, open back up. And cartwheel fingers to ground. Lower the, keep back knee lifted for just a moment. Right hand twist up to sky. Try to keep the top shoulder stacking, so it's kind of like a rotation in the back itself. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, hand lowers, the back knee lowers. So the half splits. Take a few breather movements, bringing us back to this present. Okay, so bend the front knee, weight is moving forward, the left hand down, forward, up, back. Your choice to grab those back toes or not. Good, next inhale. Exhale, release that forward. Right foot works its way to right top edge so that you can lift up the back knee, slide up to Malasana. Good inhale. Exhale, fingers down. Let the legs straighten, toes turn forward. Sliding hands up the shin, half lift. And slide down, feet travel back, child pose, down dog, or flow. Good. We're going to lower back down to belly. So plank or kneeling plank to lower. 3 more cobras. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2. 1. From here, right elbow takes a cactus, arm shape to the right side. Our right cheek is resting on the floor. Press the left hand into the ground until that right shoulder is stretching. So some people stack the hips, some people not quite, and some people trace the top foot backwards. So it just depends on what you need to do to help your right shoulder feel a nice stretch. Good. Let's start to switch sides, hips down. Slide the left elbow out. The head is facing the other way. And same options. Maybe the hip stack, maybe top leg faces back, maybe not. Good, easing back down. Hands are under shoulders for 1 more cobra. And take it back to child pose. From child pose, leave the left hand reaching forward. And then the right arm is going to thread under that left armpit space. Start to switch out the arms. We release this side. We're going to head our way toward pigeon. So some of us go from down dog, some of us just go from kneeling. It's up to you how you get there. Eventually, right leg is going to be forward and through. Keep the sacrum level. We're down to elbows. From here, rock your weight onto your right hip. And you're swiveling open to face the long edge of the mat. So we're turning open to that back door side. You've got the left leg still straight at the back of the mat. Got the right foot tucked into the center. So we're going to do a lateral lean up and over toward that left leg. So this could be another spot where using the strap could be useful to connect the two dots. So if you're using strap, strap is around left foot. Right hand is grabbing onto strap. Left hand is just resting on the floor in front of it, the leg. Good, so right hand grabs the strap. And as we start to ease the shoulders to stack up and over, sometimes you need to slip a little bit of the strap down your hand so that it gives you just a little bit more space. So you choose that exact spot, feel this nice lateral lean, really good place to open that shoulder as well. So take another good inhale, exhale. And from here, as we rise up enough, we're gonna start turning toward that straight left leg. If you've got the strap, maybe you're walking your hands down the strap, maybe your hands are on the floor or reaching for the foot. Just get that nice stretch over left leg. Good. And before we switch sides, we'll take another little twist. So spine rises up. This right knee picks up. This kind of faces us toward that left leg, so a little bit away from me. Left hand or left elbow hooks around the knee. Right hand is behind your back. That faces us back to the mirror side. Nice twist for the spine. Huge inhale. Exhale, release. Let's take our way toward the second side. So maybe kneeling or down dog to head toward the pigeon pose. Left leg forward. Get there sooner or later. Feel free to drop down to elbows. Breath in and out. Rock your weight onto left hip. We're swiveling open to this front door side facing. Got the long right leg at the back of the mat. So this first one is up and over the lateral lean. So if you're using strap, it's around right foot and left hand grabs on. And then as you start to kind of lean to the side, you'll let that top shoulder, that left shoulder, arch up and over. Slip as much strap down as you need. Good. Coming up to face the straight leg. Put yourself forward toward that direction. And as we come up, we have the twist. So lift up the left knee, the right hand or the right elbow that hooks. And left hand is behind us, kind of facing us back to mirror. That's it. Just take the classic gut. was like, how can I help you? Good. One more inhale. Exhale. That starts our journey towards Shavasana. So maybe there's last stretches we want seated, maybe a wide straddle, reaching through, maybe another cobbler's pose. Maybe there's some last little stretches here that we want. Or maybe there's stretches heading onto our back, maybe another twist. All sorts of options. Don't feel any sense of rush. You can take a full minute or two if needed. Just get those last things that still want attention. Like usual, there's never a rush to feel like you have to immediately jump towards Shavasana. So keep on moving, keep on transitioning. Because I've got a couple that are at that point. The breath that may be helpful to lead us to Shavasana today is focusing on the exhale. So it can be a good long inhale as deep as you want, but let that exhale be like a sigh of relief. Just kind of like releasing something from your system. It's like, it just feels so good to let it go. So at least take a couple of breaths focusing on that exhale. And let that start to lead us toward a calm, peaceful, restful state of Shavasana sooner or later. Here, begin to deepen the inhales, exhales. Start to introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out in a way that feels nice. Fetal position, you can head there whenever you're ready. Essentially coming up to a comfortable seated place. Those hands joined together in front of the heart. We recognize we have a little bit longer in this beautiful season. I love the summer. We also recognize that fall is starting to approach. Days are getting colder. Changes are starting to happen. And so, as we're heading toward that season, we take that inspiration of the trees, reminding us that it's okay to let go when it's the time. So with this type of release to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.